But look, let's get into the show. So I got a message last night from somebody that's very good. They wouldn't want me to shout their name out, but they said you might want to check this article on Stretty News about Anthony Martial, and that Newcastle are interested in bringing Anthony Martial to Newcastle as part of their new big spend in January. So it makes a lot of sense, this story, and it's not, it's well sourced. And look, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. It's still October, early October, but I was speaking about this, I don't know whether I was talking about it on this channel or on That's Football, that the sort of signing Newcastle make at the start is not going to be Kylian Mbappe. It's not going to be Erling Haaland. It's not going to be that sort of signing in the next 12 months. Because if you look at the early days of Chelsea or the early days of Manchester City, when you're not a Champions League club, you can't just go and say, Mbappe, come here. He's going to go, well, look, I don't care what money you're going to give me. You're a nothing club at the moment. I'm going to go to Real Madrid. The minute Newcastle have got Champions League football, like it happened with Man City, that's when you get your Agueros and people like that. So Newcastle will be looking at, can we offer Fred to Newcastle, since Mikel Roach? Look, there's certain players I'd give to Newcastle and hopefully they'd pay money. But I think if you are Newcastle, remember I said this before, you're looking at Jesse Lingard, James Maddison. I think they want Pope in goal from Burnley. These are the sort of first tier signings that Newcastle are going to look for. The best possible player they can get to make them get near the top four, they can actually bring to the club as part of this first phase. They're not going to get the Mbappes or the De Bruynes straight away. In 3 or 4 years they will do, but the first 2 years they're going to have to get the best they can get. And Anthony Martial, to be honest with you, fits Newcastle like a glove. It's just whether Martial wants to stay in the Premier League, which we'll talk about in a minute. But Anthony, I saw something the other day. In Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 3 years here, Anthony Martial is in the top 4 for goals and assists. So this perception that he's a flop and he's useless is a joke. Like, last season he had a bad season. He scored a goal against Everton the other week. He's not a bad player. I actually predicted Martial was going to have a big season this year. I think that's been destroyed by Ronaldo, and quite rightly so. You bring Ronaldo in, that's going to be less chances for Martial. So Newcastle expressing an interest in Martial. If I was in charge of Newcastle and I was looking at the rebuild, I mean, it's like, we've all got ideas. We've all played Football Manager and FIFA, so it's not like, Goldbridge's ideas are going to be revolutionary. You'd have your own ideas. But if I was owner of Newcastle, I'm looking to rebuild that team, Man United would be one of my first stops, because Manchester United players, whether they succeed or fail, they've got a real understanding of what playing at a big club's all about. And we're top heavy. We've got a massively inflated senior squad. So if I was Newcastle, I'd look at Manchester United and I'd go, Martial, Van der Beek, straight away, those two players are perfect for what we want. They're not playing, they're still in their mid-20s, and they're top quality players who play international football that United are looking to sell. And we'll get them for a reasonable price. They're not going to want 100 million. So look, we'll talk about Donny in a minute, but I think in relation to Anthony Martial, proven Premier League goal scorer, I think he would do really well at an Arsenal or a Newcastle or a Spurs, or I think he would do well at that sort of look. Because Newcastle are, with all due respect to Arsenal and Spurs, you are fighting between 4th and 8th. And I think that's where Newcastle want to be ASAP. And they know they can't fight for the top 4 just yet. So when I say Martial will do well at Arsenal, Spurs and Newcastle, I put Newcastle straight into that category, because that's where they're going to want to be. And I think Newcastle with Anthony Martial in that team, I think he's perfect for what they want. They want a goal scorer, a quality player who, ideally they want Mbappe and Haaland, but they're not at that stage yet. So I think Martial ticks a lot of boxes for Newcastle if he fancies it. From a United point of view, they're probably not going to get many clubs that knock on the door and say, there's 50 million. So I think for United, they'll probably snap the hands off as well. The question is whether Anthony Martial wants to do it. Can't we sell them Henderson? Why would they want Pope over Henderson? Henderson wants first team football. He can go there, 40 million. Thanks, says Michelle. Again, look, you know what? Absolutely, I applaud that. Absolutely brilliant. That would be a brilliant move for Dean Henderson. It would be a brilliant move for Newcastle, and it would be a brilliant move for Manchester United. We'd get the money, he'd get first team football, and Newcastle would get potentially England's number 1. I think, Dean Henderson to Newcastle, it would be perfect. If I was Dean Henderson, I'd be looking at that and going, you know what? I fancy that. I fancy that project. I would be their number 1. The team's going to be a Champions League club in the very near future. I'd be England's number 1. Yeah, but that's probably why they're looking at Pope, because Pope's probably looking at it in the same way. But no, you're right, Dean Henderson would be perfect. And there's probably a few players at United it would be perfect for. But keeping it with Martial, can I just offer this opinion? I disagree.